Hey y'all, what's up? You are tuned in to another episode of Rumorvilletv. Get on in here and sit down, child. Act like you got a little sense. If this is your first time joining us, smash the hell out that like button and subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey girl, now let's get into some shit. Clearly, retrograde is retrograding. I don't know what that means, but y'all have clearly chose violence. What is going on? The girls is fighting, the guys is fighting, everybody fighting. Let's get into it. So let's start this episode off. Chrisean Rock and Blueface, y'all know they're my favorite couple, right? I don't subscribe to the Zeus Network, but baby, when their show drops, I got to see. I gotta. Somebody drop down in the comments. I need your login information for the Zeus Network. I'm just playing, unless you're gonna give it to me. So Blueface and Chrisean, they fighting again. Not each other this week. Blueface then knocked Chrisean's daddy out, y'all. So Chrisean started this bullshit off, and she says, so my boyfriend knocked my dad out. The family stuff didn't go well. I don't even know what's going on. With a little heartbreak emoji. I feel kind of bad. Like, when I saw that, I was like, yikes. Like, y'all always got some shit. It's always some shit. If Chrisean and Blueface ain't fighting each other, then Chrisean fighting his mama and his sister, and now Blueface fighting her daddy. Y'all know Blueface is toxic as hell. He posted, I'm her daddy now. It's not funny. Okay, it is. It's very funny. But these next few tweets, I think they are from Chrisean, are not funny. Shout out to the Neighborhood Talk for all this information. Chrisean says, what hurts the most, I don't have nothing to do this shit for. I was doing it for my family. So, a while back in an interview, she said, she supports her family and Blueface supports her. So she's able to do the things that she does for her family because he does what he does for her. It's a toxic situation to feel obligated to deal with a man because he's a provider. But when you don't know who you are, you accept anything, really. Okay, so Chrisean also says that same dad that got knocked out was the same guy that tied my mom up in the woods just to beat her because she screamed so loud in the house when he beat her in front of us. So he went out his way to damage my whole family. That same dad I met when I was 7. And I think she touched on that in an interview either with Say Cheese or the Shade Room. She said that, her father was in prison for a while, and then, she met him later on when he got out of prison. And then she also says somebody was supposed to knock that nigga out a long time ago. If the things that she says that he did to her mom, and these are things that she did speak on in one of those interviews. I've watched them both, so I don't know which one. In one of those interviews, she did speak on coming from an abusive home. If those things are true, then I actually agree with Chrisean. Somebody should have knocked that nigga out a long time ago. And not to say that fighting is ever right, but one good ass whooping go a long way. All I'm saying, I'm not saying this was the right place, because listen, my daddy is my superhero. Like, that's Superman. So you put your hands on Superman, you knock Superman out, oh, me and my sisters gotta jump you. We just jumping you. Like, we're gonna jump you, period. But yeah, that's that. So Blueface also posted this. Y'all know that man toxic. He posted this. Blueface knocked the Mario coins and the cigarette out Chrisean daddy. And also on this post, someone posted on the Neighborhood Talks Instagram page, somebody posted this comment. They the Gen Z version of Bobby and Whitney. Facts. And somebody else said, this documentary is going to be fire on BET in 15 years. Chrisean's brother also chimed in, and he had something to say. He says, Rock, I love you. Apologize for this this family toxic, and you know all of us crazy. WTF you think gonna happen? Just know I'm here and respect you and Blueface. That nigga came down to Baltimore, our city, to meet our family and ain't fold or run. Dummy. For those that don't know, I'm not from Baltimore, but dummy is not like him calling you stupid or it's not name calling. It's like a term of endearment, kind of. Dummy stood on all 10. Everybody ain't doing that. He love you, Rock. You pop me. I love you forever. So I guess in the altercation, Chrisean might have jabbed her brother on accident. But clearly both families are toxic, and this is just another layer of why they need to leave each other alone. The families don't click. You fighting her daddy, she fighting your mama, like, walk away. But I'm invested either way. Definitely gonna get a Zeus subscription. Y'all drop down in the comments. So that I can, tune in. We can talk about all this stuff when their TV show drops. I can't wait. I'm excited. But moving on to even more ridiculousness. Child, the girl's still fighting. August Alsina and Tory Lanez. Child, August Alsina and Tory Lanez is fighting. Now, when I first heard this, shout out to Gossip in the City because that's where I heard it from. When I first heard this was before August Alsina started posting pictures. This is before Tory Lanez did this quote-unquote interview with DJ Academics where he denied all of this. This is before all of that. Fee came out with this news. And when I heard it, I was like, August Alsina and Tory Lanez? Like, August Alsina is like 6 feet, right? Something like that. I know he ain't 5 something like Tory. Of course, Tory's like 5'2", right? So in my head, I was like, how? So, of course, this is all coming from August Alsina. So I'm going to insert allegedly here because Tory Lanez has said this did not happen. But what could Tory Lanez say other than no, this didn't happen? He already fighting this case with Meg. Well, is he even really fighting? Because allegedly his lawyers pushed the case back even further to December. Like, this has been going on for 3 years. Why are we pushing the case back even further? It's weird. Anyway, here's the picture that August posted, and here is what he said. As I'm exiting the building after the show last night, a 4'11" sized leprechaun, that's funny, ran down on me with 8 oversized security niggas, whom I greeted each individually upon their walk up as they tried to press me. Whole time, I'm 1 deep, no security. Tory continues to ask with a broken ego why I didn't dap him up. I go on to tell him I was a fan of him and I didn't understand him speaking on my business publicly in the past. So let me back up a little bit. Tory Lanez did a freestyle not too long ago talking about the whole entanglement thing, and he said if he was sleeping with Jada, he wouldn't have told Will or anyone else. Back to it. Because I don't know him or ever met him until last night. So when he spoke, it caught me off guard because of his past actions. I assumed he didn't like me. That's all. Not to mention, with my history of health and condition, just recently overcoming being paralyzed, my doctor directed me not to compromise my health while out on the road and shake as less hands as possible due to corona and monkeypox. I'm gonna say my opinion. I'm gonna say my opinion. Never any disrespectful words were exchanged, so I was a bit confused at how somehow he turned himself up with anger after hitting a blunt laced with cocaine. Obviously, I heard the fizzle, and he snuck me when I turned my head to move to the side amongst all his antsy moving and to keep an eye on the endless niggas that was with him surrounding me, which was security and some nigga with a gun tucked, whom he then proceeded to run behind and hide to run back in the building. There was never a fight, simply an assault. Dude has no real friends and is on a crash out mission. With that said, I was gonna keep it G and not come to the net, but you moving with foul intent feeding falsities to blogs to look for a moment, because them moments ain't happening for you on stage. I will assist you in that gracefully. His people got the whole thing on camera. Put the footage out. I'd like to see it. Anyway, let me go clean this blood off my face with some Encina Wellness. So that's, I think, the skincare brand that I don't know if he started or if he's just a brand ambassador of. I don't know what's going on with that. But they do have his skin looking real pretty. Some folks is even calling him zesty, but I ain't gonna say that. I didn't say that. I said some people. Viewer discretion is advised. It is a picture of his wounds after this altercation, alleged altercation with Tory Lanez, because Tory Lanez said he ain't had nothing to do with this. He don't know what he talking about. So August posts these pictures. Me after a two-paid sneak attack, then being manhandled by Buku security. Buku means like a whole lot. Security, one deep, as the jealous leprechaun runs back off in the building. At Encina Wellness is the key to healing this. I'll be back with my results once I heal up. Yeah, you can't run your mouth one deep and expect 9 niggas not to jump you. I don't know if they jumped him. August didn't say that. August said it was an assault. Let's just send everybody peace, healing, love, light, all of it. Let's send that all to everybody. And let's move on to another story. So yesterday, even the pastors are out here putting their hands on folk. Yes. So I am also going to talk about this story with Bishop Whitehead. If you're not familiar with who this man is, a few weeks ago, he is the pastor who allegedly, because some people seem to believe that the robbery that happened in his church did not happen, or it was set up or somehow not real. I don't know. My personal opinion is probably was for an insurance check, but that's my personal opinion. That is not fact. All right. So a few months back, or I think it was like a month ago, he was in headlines because some 3 guys ran up in his church and robbed him and his wife of all their jewelry. I don't know if anybody else in the church was robbed, but they were definitely robbed. This man is known for being flashy. He drives really nice vehicles, like luxury vehicles, Rolls Royce, Phantoms, those sort of vehicles. He dresses in like Fendi and Christian Dior suits. Matter of fact, I think he went to jail yesterday in a Christian Dior suit. Yeah, let's get into it. So there is a podcaster. She goes by the name of A Gift and a Curse podcast. I'm going to post her channel here. Please go watch, follow, and subscribe to her channel. She was doing a story on Bishop Whitehead. Yes, here she is. She was doing a story on Bishop Whitehead on how he is using, he had like some sort of real estate like course or program that he was doing, trying to teach people about real estate. And allegedly he was stealing people's money. And so she was covering the story. She went to the church on Sunday and she was recording because she wanted to get footage of the service and of the actual congregation and the church itself. And so she actually caught this happening in live time. So the video that you're about to see is actually from Bishop Whitehead's page. And here we go.
Move her out of here. Amen. Come on, let's give Jesus a round of applause, y'all. Hey, yes, Lord. Let's give Jesus a round of applause. Let's give Jesus a round of applause. Let's give Jesus a round of applause. Now let's give Jesus a round of applause. While they take pictures and they want to be on social media, take the pictures. Pictures.
So he invites her to come up here. Yo, you want to come preach? Come on up here. And now when he's speaking, when he says they're taking pictures and recording in the church, he's talking about the woman that we're speaking of that owns that does the podcast, The Gift and the Curse. He's actually talking directly about her. And clearly he's upset, he's agitated. So when this woman who is walking, you know, she's speaking in tongues, she's praying, and maybe she was out of line. If you know anything about a black church, you know, people get up and walk around and they speak in tongues and they're praying. These things happen. This is not something that is outside of the norm in a typical black church. This isn't outside of the norm. These things happen. Although I've never seen this happen. Never seen a pastor put his hands on a woman in this way. She does have a gash on her face, on the side of her, like the side of her neck. Before I give my opinion, let me also play his response to this whole situation.
Today, we had some visitors in the church. And they were sent, y'all. They were sent by, and I'm gonna say it like this, they were sent by two nobodies, two bloggers that are nobodies. And they were sent in to my church to disrupt my church. And you guys, you probably don't know the bloggers. If you're in, if you know me, you wouldn't know them. And but if you're in the church, you know who they are. And I'm gonna say it like this: I have lawsuits out, and you know, when retaliation is retaliation, that's just what it is. So these gentlemen, and we have proof, these gentlemen sent these two women in my church to disrupt my church. And they came in videoing. That's probably what you guys are seeing going viral. They came in videoing, and it was a whole setup. And, you know, I allowed the lady to talk, speak her piece, and curse me out and do whatever she wanted to do. But then when she said, and started to throw threats at my wife and started to charge at my wife, that's what you guys saw. My wife have my baby in her hand, and we're not going to have another rendition of my daughter being in harm's way or my wife being in harm's way. We're not going to do that. So that's when I took action, and I grabbed the young lady and escorted her out. And I got the video, y'all. I got the video that y'all don't see. I am a gentleman. I am pro-woman. I'm not an abusive man. Never been, never will. You know, people that know me, my father died when I was sick, got killed when I was 6 weeks old. My mom and my grandmother and my older sister raised me. So, you know, I am very, very pro-woman. And but these people were sent into my church to disrupt my church, and this lady went towards my wife to attack her and my daughter, and that's when I grabbed her, okay, and did what I had to do, what any man and any pastor would do. Okay, we're just off of the experience of 3 men coming into my church, robbing us, and putting a gun in my wife's face and in my 8-month-old daughter's face. She was 8 months at the time. And that's not going to happen again. So for everybody that that feels whatever they want to feel, y'all can feel whatever y'all want to feel. No, I didn't choke her. No, it was nothing like that. I grabbed her and escorted her out the way she needed to be escorted out. And I asked her, I said, you're going to be removed. You gotta leave. And she walked back. This is something y'all can't see, but we have video in the church. We have video in the church. Okay, we have video in the church.
He is referring to Dr. Larry Reed and the King Jives. He is suing them for $20 million. He is accusing these 2 men of basically setting this whole thing up. Now, if you watch the videos that are on A Gift and a Curse podcast, she actually started recording before she entered the building. And it does a brief interview with the police officers outside of the building. So if there were police officers outside of the building, why would you handle this situation in this way? Why wouldn't you alert someone to get the police, to bring the police in, if you felt like somebody was, going to attack your family or you, especially after your church has been robbed at gunpoint, no less? Yeah, it's just, you know, I can understand having like some form of PTSD maybe, you know, after that situation. So you want to, you know, protect your wife and your kids. And I could see him feeling, you know, emasculated by not being able to protect his family, much less his congregation in that sort of a situation. I understand all of that. But putting your hands on a unarmed woman who was literally just walking and praying, that's kind of off-putting to me. You know, I don't know. Drop down in the comments and let me know what retrograde is and what y'all think about what's going on. What is going on? Because retrograde is retrograding, okay? Whatever that means. Don't forget to like this video. It helps me out with the algorithm so that more people get to see my content. Share this video and subscribe if you haven't already so that every time I upload, you can be notified and you can meet me right back here. And before you know it, we're going to be the best of friends. Until next time.